everyone. Welcome to this week's Coaching Minute. My name is Brenda Abdilla. I am a professional executive coach, and I wanted to talk to you today about getting fired or laid off. I know there's a technical difference between the two of those, but they feel very much the same. Whatever you call it, it feels like you got fired. So I have some do's and don'ts for you today, which I hope will be very helpful. The first thing is that what you need to know about the human brain is that getting fired or laid off is a form of rejection. And rejection to the human brain has the same impact in the short term as if you had been bludgeoned on the head. It's an injury, right? Because you have been rejected from the tribe and your work is your tribe. So however it was couched or explained or however much severance you got, you were still rejected from the tribe, and that requires some processing. Now, this does not have to go on forever. You do not have to be a victim forever, but you do need to take some time to process what has happened to you. I have two suggestions for that. One is free. I have an ebook called Stress Less for Better Success. We will share the link here. In that little booklet, in that ebook, is an exercise called Going to the Ugly. And that kind of can help you process anything bad that has happened to you. You can also read my book, Outsmarting Crazy Town, which has that exercise plus a number of others as it relates to career. But you can talk to a therapist, you can talk to clergy, you can talk to a coach. Oftentimes, friends and family, not super helpful for reasons that we'll talk about in a minute, but you do have to process it. It is a big deal what happened to you. All right, once you have processed it, this is, and that while you're processing it is not the time to look for a job because you have this little dark cloud hanging over your head. So you do kind of have to work through it before you start searching. All right, some of the don'ts. Do not ever refer to yourself as unemployed. Unless you're filing for unemployment, that is a very negative term. You are between roles, you're looking for your next thing. You are not unemployed. One of the important things to kind of realize is that your employer was not your source of income. You are your source of income. If you look at the whole history of your life, the common denominator there is that you have earned income for yourself and for your family and for your life. Your employer is just part of the equation, but that is not your source. You are your source of revenue and income. All right, another don't. Do not go drive an Uber. Unless you've always wanted to drive an Uber or a Lyft or work at Home Depot or whatever hourly thing you're thinking about, do not do something that is A, going to further depress you, and B, take you away from your search. You need concentrated, focused time to do your search, to clean up your resume, to clean up your LinkedIn, to approach your network. That's what you want to be focused on. If you take a part-time job, you're just going to double the amount of time it's going to take you to find a full-time job. Do not take advice from people who are not experts in the field of career. If you're taking advice from somebody who has not searched for a role in this market as it is now, they are going to be very unhelpful. Some people have some very old school ideas about job search or about, you have to have a job to find a job. None of that is helpful. So make sure you're getting your advice from somebody who actually knows the market and what they're talking about. The last thing I want to talk about is kind of two-part, which is find the gift in what happened to you. When I was 29, I actually got fired, not laid off, fired. And I got fired the hard way. Like security came to my desk and my whole sales team was crying and I was escorted out of the building. And apparently this boss I had that I had no respect for was made privy to the fact that I had no respect for him. I don't think I hid my feelings very well. Anyway, I was still very angry and bitter and filled with rage about being fired. But that led to me starting my own company. I've had 4 companies since then. It was absolutely the best thing that ever happened to me, but obviously not in the moment. And what I want to finish with is the fact that you really want to play to your strengths. If somebody is asking you, what are you passionate about? Run in the other direction because that person doesn't know what they're talking about. What you really want to be focused on is what are your strengths and how can you use that in your next role? So be positive. If you have your moments of down, just let yourself have that. Otherwise, get ready, get focused, and find your next thing. I hope this was helpful.